is a while.
All right.
It's unfortunate that we're tired too from work.
So before we start talking about this game that finished like 10 minutes ago, let's get corporate on the boys real quick. I think we should start leading with where people could find us and our socials.
Leading?
And because Jose, I think unintentionally brought it to our attention that some people might just listen to us on Spotify and they don't know that we exist outside of that.
Oh, and then they don't listen long enough to get to the point.
Yeah, because I mean, like
Post 90 on all socials. That's all socials.
All socials, mostly Twitter, and like that's the one where you're gonna get constant updates from us, like during games about when episodes come out and like where they're coming out, and all that stuff. And then obviously you could get us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everything like that. And I think most importantly to us on YouTube, obviously, so you can see our beautiful faces that way.
Last week, not so much. I had a mountain on my face. It is what it is.
And if you are a YouTube person, then hit that sub button, hit that bell. It'll let you know when we post, I think.
That's smart to do.
Just to be the YouTube guys.
I didn't even realize that we did it backwards. It was just like the flow that we made.
I was watching like the fantasy footballers this morning, and I was like, they lead with that every time.
Yeah.
And like I follow them on Twitter probably because of that.
Leads with it.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So that's the update on us, where you can find us. We'll probably do a much shorter version of this at the start of every episode.
Yeah, we'll get it down.
Yeah. It's going to take a lot of practice. If you have ever stuck around long enough to hear an outro from Justin
the outros
over
that
here,
I would call intros.
By 2023, we will have the intros down perfect.
Yes, at least.
So, not to delay any longer talking about this Chicago game, because to be honest, I don't want to talk about it, but here we are. Here's what we promised last episode. And when I made that promise, I didn't know that this is what we were going to be talking about.
We didn't realize that NYCFC was going to give us content.
Yeah.
Man. Where do you start, really?
I don't know.
I mean,
do we start immediately backtracking on what you said about Sean last week? Or, I mean, like 2 days ago at this point?
Did I say something nice about him?
Yeah, you said a couple of nice things.
Because I didn't mean to if I did.
Yeah.
I've been trying to say that Sean has been in dog form. He's been awful.
Terrible form.
And it doesn't like, hey, now that I know that we have this clip, editor roll, we don't care. We don't care about that 93rd minute save to save us from 3-0 or 2-0. We don't care. Mm-hmm. We don't care. That's not going to give me those rose-tinted glasses to be like, oh, maybe Sean is worth it. No, put Barraza in, dude.
Yeah.
I'm over it. Strip him of the captaincy. Dude, it's just ridiculous.
I mean, I think I don't think that's like shocking to anybody. Like,
no,
we haven't always supported Sean.
I don't dislike Sean. I think Sean is a good human being, and he's shown that he can be a good leader. Mm-hmm. I don't think he consistently is.
And you know what so we're talking about the goal where
both of them.
Yeah, but mostly the one where Sean kind of just fell like he was like a bag of bricks and somebody like dropped it.
That literally looked like me in intramurals.
In a goal.
In goal, just being like, oh no, this is, I didn't think we were going to face a shot here. I thought my defense was going to do something.
And then, bless the Chicago announcers, because they tried to save Sean's face by saying there was some kind of, I couldn't find the deflection personally.
No.
But they were saying there was some type of slight deflection. But really,
Chicago? Yeah. I had Ian.
I heard Ian tore him up.
Dude,
a little
Ian
for the free kick goal.
Game. No. I would say Ian and Joe.
Mm-hmm. Tallison.
I always forget his name. I don't know why. I apologize. He's a great dude.
He is.
Dude, they literally spent the entire broadcast ripping on NYCFC and being like, yeah, we can tell it's a mid-season because we're getting frustrated. Yeah. And they're like, we should be better. I think there was a point where Joe literally was like, how is he not, like in the booth, he's like, how is he not hitting that? Yeah. How are you not scoring that? How are you not doing the easy things? Yep. We are terrible in possession. We're terrible in front of goal. They said what we were saying last week, which was if it's not Taty, it's nobody.
Yep.
It's literally like they watched our podcast and then they were like, well, here's the talking points for the week.
Or it's almost like the team watched our podcast and they were like, let's just play like they told us to, or not like they told us to, like they think we do. Yeah. Because you do.
You do.
Some of the time you do.
I don't want to bounce around too much. So if you have thoughts on anything that I just blurted out, go for it.
I mean, I just think like my main takeaway, like very early into the game, the first thing I realized is it didn't feel like we had any personality tonight, like at all. And I mean that in terms of like emotion and like vibes, and I also mean that in terms of in terms of tactics. Like, there was no personality, period, across the board. You couldn't have told that this was like a team that's been playing together for
it looks like
for all season. Team. Yeah, it didn't look like anything was right.
Teams that could beat this team.
And like really, all we lost were 2 players, which I mean, you could argue it's our best attacking and defensive player, but like.
Not lately.
What are we to do if
Taty,
this happens in the playoffs? Like
Taty, yes. Sands has been struggling, and so maybe it's better to see what it's like without him, without having to. It's like, the example for people who watch football is like, yeah, maybe next week you bench Justin Fields, and it's not a bad thing because Andy Dalton is coming back from injury. Like, you can see what Acevedo looks like in that role without having to be like, oh, Sands hit the bench. Yeah. You know, it's kind of a perfect storm. I accepted that one. The Taty one we can't live without. But like you said, yeah, we literally have no personality. We are going to...
I mean, we do, but tonight we didn't.
No. I don't think we have for a while. I think it's been... Okay. I realized this in the middle of the game, but we are going to play out wide and pointless cross ourselves out of the playoffs. That's genuinely what's going to happen if we keep up like this. Yeah. Because that's all. Ronnie's just telling them, play it out wide to whoever the left back is and to Tinnerholm, and then play across in and then see what happens. There's nothing else. We're not seeing the link-up play like we're used to. Anything. Like,
I don't know why.
It's all gone. It's like everything that we worked on is wiped out. Yeah. And now I get why people have been frustrated. Because maybe I had rose-tinted glasses and I didn't see it. But this game, I saw it.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I mean, we definitely saw flashes of, like, things might be barreling down a path, but we're not at the point yet where it's like an avalanche. But this game felt like as close to that.
Dude, it's pushing the levee.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's pushing the levee.
But I'm still not out, but maybe I'm just coping.
I'm not out. Yeah. I'm not out. And that is taking a lot to say. I'm not out.
I mean, there's a lot of excuses that can be made to patch holes in the ship, right? All the midweek games, no Taty, no Sands, like all the lack of consistency with the red cards. Like I think those are the things. If anybody, I'm trying to explain why. If anybody is like totally out and they're like, how can these guys not be out? Like these are the coping mechanisms that I'm applying.
And that goes just as far as this. And then I present to you reasons why this was maybe Ronnie's worst game of the season.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably
we
fair.
Don't have Taty and we don't sub on Hebert. And in what world does that make sense?
Well, in what world did we... I mean, if I was to pick one of 3 or one of 4 of our attackers that aren't named Taty, which in my eyes would be Tales, Hebert, Thiago, and Santi. Tales is not the one I start.
No. And I would start Thiago.
Yeah, I would start Thiago. I would start Santi, but I would definitely not sub either of them in the second half and expect them to make up for 60 minutes of being down 2-0.
How do you not give Hebert that first half?
I don't know.
How do you not give him the first half to be like, burn it out?
There has to be. They have to not be totally confident in his athleticism yet.
I don't think it's that. I think what it is our medical team is really, really good, and they have very strict plans for his return and exactly how many minutes he's supposed to play. Yeah. And it didn't fit in for tonight because we weren't expecting Taty to be gone. Right. That's what happened, probably. But then you have the fact that Hebert doesn't get on. at least there was a point where I stopped really fully paying attention. So it's possible that he got on. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't until after the 85th minute.
Who?
Hey Bear.
Oh no, he came on. Yeah, but I mean,
it would have been
anything.
It would have been for
like,
10 minutes then.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't until after the 85th minute.
Yeah.
And so that's inexcusable. Like changing the left back, what does that matter?
Right.
What does it matter?
Doesn't.
Starting Alfredo in the Sands role. Literally what we said last week, starting Sands in the Sands role. Did I just say the Sands in the Sands role?
The Sands in the Sands role, yeah.
My brain is fried. Alfredo in the Sands role.
Which, I mean, Alfredo in the Sands role where Sands is covering for somebody else's role already. It's like a domino effect here.
It's insane. I feel like I've ranted a lot.
But the major issue is like we cannot be making like these mistakes in these positions, because I think after the Red Bull game it was Michael Allen who tweeted that prior to this game the difference in points between third place, which is where we were, versus ninth place, which is a spot where you're no longer in the playoffs if you finish there, was 3 points, which is one game, where if we drop 3 points and a ninth place team wins their game, we're now tied with them.
Yep.
And we lost.
That's what
we
I'm
did
saying.
our part of that bargain.
That's what I'm saying when I say that we are going to play out wide and pointless cross our way out of the playoffs.
I mean, I don't think, I know that you're saying that, but I think we both believe that we can hopefully get back to the beautiful football we saw a month and a half, 2 months ago, where it like game in, game out. I mean, Alexi Lala said we were the best team in the league, most likely to win the cup. Like,
maybe that was a kiss of death.
The Alexi curse or the Lala's curse.
Yeah. But even, you know, it's like
we thought he was helping us. Damn.
So you say we could get back to it. I don't know if we will, because I think the identity has switched to that.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, the statement is could.
Yeah.
Not we will, but we could.
Yeah, because you even have Tennerholm in his presser talking about we don't have to play beautiful. We don't have to play like Brazil.
That's just...
We just have to get the job done. Well, the way that we play tonight isn't going to get the job done tonight. No. If it's not going to get the job done against Chicago, it won't work.
I mean,
this is not the way.
Yeah, not only the way we played tonight won't get the job done. The way we played both nights against the Red Bulls is not going to get the job done. The way we played in the game prior to the Red Bulls is not going to get the job done. Like we're very far removed from being in like form as an entire team, as an entire roster. We've taken like so many steps away from that.
Yeah, like Ian was saying, we are lost. We look lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've never known this team to like not have a personality, and that was like the one thing like glaring in my mind. So I don't know. I'll figure it out.
There's a lot of frustrated people. I wonder if Ian would want to rant with us.
I'm sure he would.
I think he would.
But I don't know to what degree he's allowed, because
we
might get him down a road that he agrees with, but doesn't want to publicly be down.
He did a lot. If you watch the Yes broadcast over, I think he did a really good job. And he was saying like it's his responsibility with Joe to kind of push the team from the media side to be like, hey, this isn't good enough. This is not going to work. This is not
I will say out of everybody on, and maybe this is the last thing that we can say because it might get some people hot and bothered. I don't know. Well, they probably don't watch. But out of all of the people on like NYCFC's payroll, Ian is probably the one where we do not have to worry about like censorship in like hopes of him like getting a bag instead of speaking his mind.
Right.
Him to me is like what authenticity is, because he's like employed by Yes and the club, and he gets up there and he like grills Brad Sims about the stadium. He grills the team. He literally said that the way that we were playing tonight was completely embarrassing. So I don't question his authenticity.
There's others that we do.
Yeah. And
we do. And Twitter's called it out.
What's his name? We don't have to say his name, but he knows who he is if he listens. He talked about it today.
Yeah. And He couldn't be more correct.
Correct.
And it's...
Well, I think things get a little funky when you sign dotted lines for money.
Yeah.
You know?
Very funky. And it's kind of one of those things that can hold the club back, because then they can put that up and be like, oh, everything's cool. Like, these guys are fans.
Yeah.
They're the voice of you guys, right? And it's like, no.
Yeah. And that's the thing where you
Not
have to,
really.
like, the fan media is very important. And a lot of people talked about this, I think, like a week ago, because they were saying how in like the Red Bulls presser or whatever, like 100% of the people attending the press conference were fan media only.
Yeah.
And that's something that I don't think NYCFC is very far away from almost 100% of the people in the pressers are fan media.
But then there's even the other side of it where we watch the presser too. Mm-hmm. They get posted.
Yeah, they do get posted.
You know?
Yeah. And let's be honest, the reason why I credit us not going to the pressers, because I don't think we have much value. Like, we typically don't ask questions.
Yeah.
We kind of just sit in there and listen live when we do go. So why not watch it, 10 minutes later on YouTube?
Right. Exactly. And yeah,
because it takes a big man to get up there and ask Ronnie a question.
As much as I'd love to say that I'll go ask Ronnie a question, I'm not there yet, guys. I'm not that guy.
He's not
maybe
there
with
yet.
my job, I might grow into that human being, but I'm not him right now.
Not there yet.
And
I asked one ever, and it was a very anxious situation. It was for no question, reason other than just my own brain making it anxious. So
yeah. Anyways, I think we've ranted enough, called out enough things.
Yeah. So we already hit you with that spiel at the start. So
post 90 on all podcasts.
On all podcasts.
Absolutely.
Every single one ever posted.
Exactly like that, because you know what I was talking about.
Peace.